Go Suri! Fantastic! Great! Class 4, and you are pounding forward. This is excellent stuff. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Big pat on the back. Okay, let's jump in. Just as an overview, just to look at these pictures. This is great. Great emotion, great composition. Fantastic. Okay, let's jump in. So we've learned about depth of field now. This is class 4. So you've learned about aperture and depth of field. Class 3, you learned about shutter speed. Here you're at 1.8. Let's just make sure you're on aperture priority. Great, following the rules. Okay, this is f1.8. Your widest. This is called widest here. So we've got good. We've got a good, a great shallow depth of field. Can see this at the background, which makes it very good to see. Now you've put the camera down because you're at an eighth of a second. You can't hold the camera steady at an eighth of a second. If you were holding the camera, you did really well, but I think you put the camera down. I hope so. This is great. You have obviously a longer depth of field now. The flowers in the background are more in focus. And then at f22, you're at 0.6 of a second, which is absolutely impossible to hold steady. I am assuming now for sure that the camera was put down, although that is a little giveaway that there was movement in the camera, but it could be it wasn't solid when you put it down. But either way, you are clearly demonstrating the concept of depth of field. Excellent. Pat on the back. Excellent. Very good. Thank you for demonstrating that so clearly. Okay. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. This is great. It's interesting here because we've got a direction going this way. You can see his face is turned a little bit this way, but this line is going this way. So you've actually balanced the picture beautifully. I think that the movement this direction is bigger than the movement in this direction, and you've left more space on this side, but I think this is a beautifully composed image. I would add maybe a teeny little bit more room here, but you've got a great smile. Stats, we can talk about the stats. You should be at a wider aperture, okay, and you could be at a quicker shutter speed as well. These stats are not that good, but you're only at class 4, so that's going to come together. Next class, it's really going to come together. B'ezrat Hashem. Good. This is great for the headshot. This is a great try. Excellent. Okay, as a quarter portrait, this is very good. I'm not into the more square thing. I would be cropping this down a little bit more. So it's actually interesting. It doesn't work because you've got a strong direction this way, even though he's kind of looking at you. It's a small direction this way and a much stronger direction this way, so you can't really get rid of the space over there. In regards to the arms, this is okay. Are we allowed to cut off arms and legs and feet and hands? The answer is yes. Are we allowed to cut lines and shapes? The answer is no. So even though you've got a line coming down here, the truth is that it's not such a big deal. Because of the shirt, the line of the shirt actually helps you bring your line back around. So this is really good. This is excellent, very good. You've cropped in close, sensitive to the space around the picture, not too much room in the top. Excellent, excellent. Suri, very good. That's a great shot. Excellent picture. This is your half image. This is really good. I think you've added some clarity in Lightroom. I think it looks to me like you added quite a lot of clarity on the tree. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a mistake because that is actually quite distracting. See, the tree here you've used as a posing posing tool, which is fine. He's leaning against a tree. That's great. That adds something. The actual graphics of the tree is not really worth much. Okay, definitely the greens in the background are worth more, but the actual expression is worth everything. That's a great shot. We've got a lovely composition here. Hands in his pockets is helping the composition. You can see now our hand, the line kind of stops here, but is caught by the bottom of his waistcoat. Back again here. Excellent. This is great. It's a great shot. Great shot. Maybe I think maybe a slight vignette would add something. Let's just see it even in Picasso. I think that would add a little bit. Let's have a look. That adds a little bit. Excellent. Okay, barrel distortion. That is an exceptionally good example of barrel distortion. Nice one. So where would you actually use barrel distortion? The first thing to know is that barrel distortion we're trying to generally avoid, okay? But this is the kind of picture that I would definitely use barrel distortion with. You've got the two lenses. You've got the 50mm, and you've got the 18 to 55, I would think. But this is the kind of image, like a little kid up close with a kind of, what are you looking at kind of picture. That, when things bounce forward, it makes a big difference. Anything like funny that it would add to. Also, like for example, signing a kasuva at a wedding, I get in close and I use a barrel distortion. That also adds a bit of drama. But this is a great example. This one we could take into Lightroom, probably make black and white, make that into an excellent picture. Okay, you've missed the focus slightly. Yeah, see, focus is over here. You've missed it quite dramatically. Okay, you do have to be careful with your camera and this lens. You have to make sure you're taking enough pictures to cover your focus. In this kind of situation, you'd need to take a couple more pictures. You did not nail it. The focus to the side, the actual energies and the composition of this picture are great. We've got a good line moving this way. That's great. He's comfortably posed on the wall. I think I would generally be taking this picture cropped in a little bit more. I would also take the shot that you shot. I would also maybe try and do something like this. 1 second. Another shot. This is going to show you how cutting off legs is acceptable. Again, because it's not sharp, it's not really worth doing this to. But just to show you the point, this line now, okay, brings you around. So that's great. Good compositionally, and your sensitivity to the image are great. Focus is off. That's a problem. Okay, here we've nailed the focus. Okay. Nearly nailed it. 1 second. No, you just missed it. Again, the focus is over here just in front. You can see this bag is pin sharp, whereas his face is just off pin sharp. It would definitely add to it if it was pin sharp. A little bit underexposed and a little bit bluey, but we could fix that even in Picasso. We could put no, I just don't like Picasso to fix stuff. Picasso's great for the logistics of stuff, but fixing things is not so good. Straighten stuff. If we straighten it a little bit, that's great. And I would crop in. I don't think we're gaining much from over here. You have some great smiles here. This is excellent. This is great. I would actually probably cut this leg off more. I think it would work better by cutting the leg off more. And you can see that again we've got this idea. This is not so distracting. Again, the focus is annoying, but we've got this line now here that actually brings us around. So our composition is like this. It's a great idea to put this leg under this leg. This is great. Again, you missed the focus, but everything else is in place. Practice with your focus. You just have to practice. And make sure you take enough pictures to make sure that you're covered. We call it engineering the odds. And one of the most important technical parts of photography that you're trying to engineer the odds is with the focus. Okay, when you're dealing with a Rebel Canon Rebel with the 50mm lens, you do have to know you're using very, very basic equipment. It's entry level equipment. And the biggest difference between entry-level equipment, one of the biggest differences between entry-level equipment and top and professional equipment is the camera's ability to measure. Okay, so it's less accurate, which means it's hit and miss. Okay, a camera will always need to focus on a certain point, so there will always be a sharp point. The question is, will it hit the actual place where you're trying to focus? So you have to engineer the odds, which means taking more pictures. Okay, and don't worry about throwing pictures away. No one sees. It doesn't matter. You're not a lesser photographer for taking more pictures. You're just a more intelligent photographer. Okay, this is great. This is great. The focus is good. It's not absolutely pin. Let's just see over here. Yeah, see, again, I think the focus is a little bit further forward than his face, but it's not really a big deal. You've paid attention very nicely to the direction here. This is great. If we crop in, I think, a teeny bit more, this is great. Excellent, nicely balanced, good background, good separation between foreground and between our subject and our background. A lot of energy here. Excellent. Excellent shot. Nice movement coming over in this direction, which gives us a nice feeling of movement, of a dynamic feel to the picture. Love it. Excellent. Okay, this here is a little distracting. I would have gotten rid of this. I would have just ripped it off this piece of grass. Excellent that you're down in the grass. This is fantastic to do this, to pull out these, you've nailed the focus here, to pull out all these, what's it called, all these textures and this colour from the grass is excellent. But like I said, this is a little bit distracting. You've got, again, good sensitivity to directions. It's working great. The this line here, the line of the background goes along with his arm. That makes sense. That's a good idea. Very good shot. Very nice shot. Love it. Okay. Now here, again, you've missed the focus. Take more pictures. You have to be taking more pictures. And you have to be making sure that you cover yourself. Take a lot more pictures. A lot more pictures. And make sure that you keep refocusing. Every picture, don't just go tick, 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 tick. That every picture should be another press. Focus on the boy, focus on the little boy, focus a little bit further forward, a little bit further back, but take a lot of pictures and you just delete them. You just delete them in post. There's no problem with that at all, but it is haval when you're not nailing sharp images. Haval, really haval. In regards to the composition here, this isn't doing you any favors. This is a line. Remember, we're allowed to cut off hands. We're not allowed to break lines. So this, listen, you see? Yeah, I know, it's just me making the noise. But that is scratching the edge of the frame. That does not add anything to the picture. That takes away from the picture. I definitely like this this movement to the little boy's face. And then the boy looking at you, that adds a lot. I would be a little more on the third with my composition. I prefer this. Just a little bit more room at the bottom would have made all the difference here. Excellent. Okay, let's take this one into Lightroom. You've done really, really well, Suri. This is really impressive. Let's take this one into Lightroom, and we are going to make this into a dramatic black and white energy picture. 1 second. There we go. Develop. We are going to definitely go black and white here. We are going to bang up the contrast. We're going to brighten his face a little bit. I don't really want to brighten the background so much. I'm going to use my brush tool here. I'm going to just paint over his face, get rid of all of that, and I'll just put the exposure up a little bit, and a little bit of contrast. Good. I now want to take away attention from the background, which I'm going to do with my my radial tool. I'm going to drop the exposure, and I'm going to drop the clarity, and I'm going to click invert. Bada boom. Excellent. Beautiful. Now, for sure, we need to bang out the eyes using our iris enhance. Spacebar allows us to zoom in. That's it. Just get all those whites out. I think I'm going to raise up the shadows as well to open up that part of the eye. Excellent. Let's move over here to this eye. There you are. Okay, you don't have to be so precise. That's one of the nice things about Lightroom, is you really don't have to be so precise. I think in regards to cleaning up his face with all this stuff, we could do that with a new brush. We could drop down the clarity a little bit. Make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Just get rid of some of this like cake or whatever it is, dirt. Okay, and I think also we'll just get rid of this spot over here. That's good. This one over here. Oh, didn't want to do that. That's fine. Okay. Oh, there's a little dot there as well. Fine. Let's get out of here. Excellent. Look at that. Went from here to here. Okay, Suri, nice work. Really, I want you to practice concentrating on your focus. Okay, taking enough pictures to make sure that you're nailing the focus. It is such a haval when you look at a picture which isn't sharp, and it could have been sharp. Just you needed to take a few more pictures. Focus is a real skill that you need to be practicing. It's probably the foundation technically, okay, not artistically, but technically it's the foundation of the image, and when your subject's not in focus, there's not really much doing. But anyway, excellent, especially that shot. That's a cracker. Okay, nice work. Looking forward to seeing what you do for us next week. All the best.